If you looked at Araquanid's stats, you wouldn't expect it to deal very much damage at all with base 70 attack, but its ability Water Bubble doubles the power of water type moves, which makes its liquidation hit like a truck. It also halves the damage taken from fire type moves and makes Araquanid immune to burns. This ability is absolutely broken, so I can see why they gave it pretty meh stats. I gave it Leech Life so it doesn't get completely walled by Ogerpon Wellspring Mask, or any other Water Absorb or Storm Drain Pokemon. I invested fully into its attack and HP, and made it as slow as possible with 0 speed IVs and a brave nature, because I'll be adding Trick Room onto the team later. Originally, I gave it the Clear Amulet to hold so it wouldn't be affected by Intimidate, but after playtesting a bit, I swapped it out for the Mystic Water to increase its damage output even more, and I solved the Intimidate issue a different way, which I'll get into later on. I think the Terra type that most people will go with for Araquanid is Terra Water to increase the damage of its liquidation even further, but I opted for the newly introduced Stellar Terra type. This is because I wanted my Araquanid to be a bit more flexible. Usually Araquanid's Leech Life won't do much damage at all, since Water Bubble only affects its water type moves. But Terra Stellar will increase Leech Life's power and also still increase Liquidation's power, even if it is just for one move each. Its last two moves are Wide Guard and Protect. I thought that the trio of Araquanid, Politoed and Archaludon could be really strong. This is because Archaludon and Araquanid both resist all the types that the other is weak to, and they are both usable in Trick Room, and they also both take advantage of Rain, which Politoed sets up with its ability. Politoed can also learn the move Haze, which can remove any Intimidates from Araquanid, and also reset Archaludon's special attack after it uses Draco Meteor. This is why I decided to use Politoed instead of Pelipper, which is the more popular rain setter at the moment. Since it's not really here to deal a lot of damage, I invested all of its EVs into its defenses. 252 HP and 188 defense EVs with a defense boosting nature lets it survive a wild charge from max attack Iron Hands, 93.7% of the time, and the rest just went into its special defense. I gave it Icy Wind for a bit of speed control, Muddy Water for damage, and Protect. Archaludon is here to deal damage, however it does have a very low special defense stat, but this can easily be patched up with an Assault Vest and plenty of EVs into its HP and special defense. I gave it 20 speed EVs so that it can outspeed Adamant Landorus Therian with a Choice Scarf when in Tailwind, and 116 EVs in special attack is enough to hit the bump. It was easy to decide on its first three moves, Draco Meteor, Flash Cannon and Electro Shot, but it took me ages to decide on the fourth move. I started off with Snarl, but after testing the team for a bit, in the majority of scenarios I would always rather deal a large amount of damage with one of the other moves instead of using Snarl, so I barely ever used it. The move which most people seem to be using is Body Press, because of its naturally high defense stat and its ability Stamina, but I wanted to use its other ability Stalwart, because redirection is on a lot of teams at the moment, so being able to ignore that is great. And I also noticed that a lot of the Pokemon that you're going to be using a fighting type move against, such as King Gambit and opposing Archaludon, have higher defense stats than their special defense. For this reason, I went for Aura Sphere instead, to try and catch my opponents off guard. The three Pokemon on the team so far are all quite slow, so I needed a Trick Room setter, and I think that Farigiraf is one of the best Trick Room setters right now. It has a great ability which stops the opponent using priority moves, and it just has good all-around stats, typing and move pool. To start with, I gave it safety goggles to hold because I was worried about Amoonguss, because I don't have any grass types on the team. But when I was testing the team, I probably did about 20 games and I didn't see a single Amoonguss. So I made sure I had a few grass terrors on the team instead, just in case, and changed its item to the Throat Spray. This item lets Farigiraf become a big offensive threat after using a sound-based move, and Farigiraf can learn Hyper Voice and Psychic Noise, which are both stab sound-based moves. I copied its EV spread from Wolf Glick's Worlds team, because I was struggling to come up with something, and he's quite a bit better at the game than me. With the last two spaces on the team, I wanted to add a Tailwind mode, because Archaludon, Farigiraf and Politoed are all slow enough to be used in Trick Room, but also fast enough to be used in Tailwind. I chose Fezandipiti as my Tailwind setter. I use Fezandipiti quite a lot in Regulation E, and I think it's very underrated. It has a very strong ability, which makes it have a 30% chance to badly poison any Pokemon it hits with a move, which works especially well with the spread moves it learns. It has Tailwind and Icy Wind for speed control, Acid Spray, which is just a better version of Fake Tears, and Dazzling Gleam as a strong stab option which pairs really well with its ability. 116 EVs in its special attack lets it 2-shot Urshifu Rapid Strike with Dazzling Gleam if it has minimal bulk investment. I maxed out its speed and the rest went into its bulk. Finally, I added Landorus Incarnate with Protect, Earth Power, Sludge Bomb, and Psychic to hit Urshifu and Amoonguss for super effective damage. I gave it a Life Orb and Sheer Force, which increases all of its move's power and stops recall damage from Life Orb. I sacrificed some of its speed to make it 1 point slower than Fezandipiti, so Fezandipiti can use Acid Spray before Landorus attacks. Any one of its moves, boosted by Life Orb and Sheer Force against a Pokemon with -2 special defense, can pretty much KO anything. Here is the rental code. I want to show off both Araquanid and Fezandipiti, but I rarely bring them both to the same games. So there are 2 showcase games, and if you're here just to see one of the Pokemon, you can skip to the battle that you want with the chapters in the description. Because Landorus looks quite strong, apart from against the... Well, actually it doesn't look too strong, just looked good against Archaladon and Entei. How about I lead Fezandipiti, Archaladon, then have Landorus in the back, and then bring Politoed in the back so I can bring it in for a Electro Shot. Didn't even lead with their Tailwind Setter. I reckon I'm going to need to Terra Grass my Fezandipiti, because otherwise it'll just probably die to Ogerpon. So if I go Terra Grass, Tailwind, and then maybe just, I don't know, Flash Cannon into Fluttermane? Ooh, what are they switching in? Interesting. Ooh, that special defense drop is very good. Yep, so the Terra Grass will let me survive that pretty easily. Might have survived her anyway. Acid Spray into Ogerpon. And then with that special defense drop, this Aura Sphere will probably do a fair bit of damage into their Archaladon. And they won't be expecting it because they'll be expecting a Body Press. Which one is it? Okay. Ah, that's annoying. Oh no, because I'm Stalwart, of course. This is perfect. Because now he's at -1 special defense. And because of Stalwart, boom. Easy. And that's why I use Stalwart over Stamina. Okay, I'm just going to get probably an Icy Wind just to break its Focus Sash. Slowing it down a bit since it's... Oh, it's still got 2 turns of Tailwind, but still. And then... Let's go for a Flash Cannon into it. Probably KO it. Unless it protects. Might go for a Draco into Ogerpon actually. Should have gone the other way around. That's why I use Ice Spinner and not Icicle Crash. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to switch out into Politoed. Still one more turn of Tailwind. And I'm going to Electro Shot Ogerpon. Okay, who's it going to be? Probably won't kill him, but it'll do a lot of damage at least. That's not bad. I'll keep Politoed in for now. And just Muddy Water, I think. It does quite a lot of damage in the rain. I'll just fire an Aura Sphere at Shen Pao. Yeah, they want this thing gone. Definitely want this thing gone. Oh, I thought I missed then. And hopefully Ogerpon shouldn't be too hard to deal with. Especially since I've got all 4 of my Pokemon left. Yeah, I'm just going to Icy Wind, slow it down. Electro Shots, I assume they're just going to forfeit. Oh, maybe not. Bring in Fezandipiti and then just keep Icy Winding and Acid Spraying, lower its speed and special defense. Then as soon as one of my Pokemon goes down, I can bring in Landorus and just easily outspeed it and one-shot it. There we go. So yeah, this will outspeed. Should just one-shot. There's no reason why it shouldn't one-shot. There we go. So it looks like Trick Room's going to be pretty strong against this opponent. They're going to try and set up Tailwind and just outspeed everything and KO everything as fast as possible. So if I, go try and get a Trick Room set up, that would be great. I can Terra Dragon on Frigoraph if I need to as well. They're quite a lot of priorities as well, so Frigoraph's very strong here. Then I guess just Archaladon Politoed in the back, because that's the usual Trick Room setup. I'm going to Wide Guard, just in case they go for whatever its signature move is called. Wild Bolt Storm. Not Wild Bolt Storm, the other one. Do I need to Terra? I don't think I do, unless I go for... I don't think I'd be able to one-shot. Good job I didn't Terra into Dragon. Bleak Windstorm, that's the word I was looking for earlier. Okay, so that tells me they don't have Crunch. They only have Sucker Punch as their Dark type move. Guess we'll just start dealing some damage. Let's get Liquidation off. Unless they're going to switch into something else. They could switch. You know what? Instead of doing that, I'm going to attack into Tornadus with that. And then just go for a Hyper Voice. Should have gone with my original plan. Yep. God's sake. Oh well, they protected anyway. So it doesn't matter too much. At least this gets my throat spray. Now I'm going to be dealing a lot more damage. So let's go for a Liquidation into Shenpao and another Hyper Voice. Because it's probably Focus Sash. They usually are. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm going to KO Shenpao here. Down to the Focus Sash. So he's going to be a bit of an issue for Araquanid. I could go for a Terra Leech Life into... Because they're not... Yeah, I could go for a Terra Leech Life into Ogerpon, and I think the Terra Leech Life plus the Hyper Voice could kill. If they Terror, it definitely won't, but I don't think they'll Terror, because then they'll lose their Water Absorb. So then they don't wall out Araquanid. Let's see if I'm correct. Okay. See how much this does. Ooh. Very nice. Okay, it's gone, but I mean, it did so much damage. It took 2 KOs. Well, actually got 2 of them down to 1 HP. But close enough. Okay. Chaladon, I guess, will be the best choice here. One more turn to Trick Room, I think. Yeah, last turn. I think I need to get rid of the Tornadus first, because if they can get Tailwind off, that's not going to be good. Will it no Protect? Maybe. So I kind of want to get Politoed in so Electro Shot takes 1 turn, but if they use Protect, it might be better if it lasts another turn. I reckon it hopefully doesn't have Protect. Ooh, which one's terroring? Steel. They may not KO anymore. Okay, crit. I don't know if that mattered, it probably did, let's be honest. So I don't actually know if I need to set up Trick Room again. I don't know if it's going to be faster or slower, to be honest. I feel like they're all very similar speeds. I mean, a Draco will kill no matter what, as long as it hits. I guess, do I go for damage or do I go for Trick Room? 'Cause I don't know how fast it's going to be. Let's go for damage. Okay. Cool. It's a good game.
Went to school, I got that paper. Mine is always on some paper. Dodging all these calls from every symbol.